be doing a crab today. Whoops. Because we're adding to our sea creature collection that we've been working on, which are these right here. And so I haven't had a chance to download the seahorse inspiration pick, so I'm going to be doing the crab today instead, which is fine. We'll get to the seahorse tomorrow, so hopefully you guys will enjoy the crab today since it's going to be super cute. We've done this little hermit crab right here, but we're going to do the regular crab today that doesn't have the shell. So if you have been wanting to paint with me, now is the time to do so. Grab your paints, grab your brushes, and get set up because we're going to get started in just a few minutes painting. And I want everyone to join us so that we can have fun together. And no worries if you don't have any painting experience. You don't have to, because we are going to learn together. So there's no reason to feel any kind of pressure to do it perfectly or anything like that, because we are going to learn together as we go. So join me for our tutorial. So these are what we've done so far. We have done the turtle. Sorry, I'm hooking y'all up to my tripod here. We've done the turtle. We did this on Friday, the dolphin. I think he turned out super cute. We've done the hermit crab. And we have done the little octopus squid. So we're going to do the crab today without the shell, just the regular crab that runs across the beach. We're going to do that today. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up, and we're going to be using the Meeden tube paints today. So I keep mine in a tin like this, but they normally are in a tube like this. So usually I keep my tubes are here, okay? But I put mine in this little empty tin that I got from Meeden because I like to be able to have all of my colors available and not have to decide beforehand which ones I need and pull out all the tubes and all the things. So that is why mine are in a palette like this. So, but they are not pan paints. They are tube paints. So, hey, Angel. Hey, Kinder Kelly. Hey, Rhonda. How's it going? I did have a good weekend. Thank you for asking. We're going to be doing the crab today. I was going to do the seahorse, but I haven't had time to sit down and get it created. So we're going to do the crab instead, and then we'll do the seahorse tomorrow. And that'll be the last one in this series of sea creatures. And then I think I'm going to move on to some summer things. I think I'm going to do some summer fruit. So we'll do like some watermelons and lemons and things like that. I think I'm going to do that next. But I love these so far. They've all turned out so cute. We have the turtle, we have the dolphin, we have the hermit crab, and we have the octopus. And today we're going to do the regular crab. So I'm going to get my paper out and ready to go. For some reason, this doesn't look like it's the right size, so I want to make sure. 2.5. It's a little big, but by 3.5. Okay, yeah, it's just a little wide. That's all right. Okay, I'm going to cut that down because I want it to be right. So I'm going to mark this at 2.5. It has almost a 1/4 inch extra on it for some reason. That's weird. I must have cut one of my other ones too short. But I'm going to get it cut because it's got to be able to fit in my sleeves. So, all right. It was a little crooked there. Let's see. I'll make sure I got it all. Yep, okay. All right, we are good. So, we are going to get this taped down. We've done, Rhonda, we've done all these so far. Angel, the dolphin was on Friday. We did the dolphin on Friday. I thought you were here for that one. Isn't he cute? I'm working on downloading all of them so that I can get them uploaded to my TubeAView. So they're not up yet, but they will be soon. If they're working on it, it's just taking forever. My internet is satellite, and it was so slow this weekend, and it was taking hours for them to export. And then once it's exported, then I have to download it. And then once it's downloaded, I have to upload it. So it's kind of a process. And so, but they will be up this week. I promise you guys they'll be up this week. Hey, Rhonda. Oh, how's it going? Happy Monday. Yay, you've been in my fan club for 1 month. Bravo. I'm so excited. Thank you. I have started some, the subscription fan club. And we're doing one private live event per month on those. So, and I'm also doing some business information on those as well. So if anybody's interested in that, please check that out. No pressure, obviously. But I am doing that. So, because that's one of the few things I'm allowed to actually tell y'all about on live. I have to be very careful about the things I say, but not for the TikTok subscriptions. I can talk about that. Yay. Sorry, guys. I'm having to take my stuff. Oh, I'm so sorry you've been sick, Rhonda. I hope you're feeling better. All right, so we're going to start, we're going to go ahead, we're going to be using the Meeden tube paints, okay? We are going to be using our Nik Pro pencils, as always. That's good. Yeah, it always takes a while to kind of get all of the lingering effects to go away. This set is my very favorite set for drawing because it's got the mechanical pencils in all the sizes you need. You get your 0.5, you get your 0.7, your 0.9, and 3 of your 2.0s. I'll be using the 0.5 today. You also get all the leads that go along with them, hard and soft leads. You could be using the 0.5 today. You also get all the leads that go along with them, hard and soft leads. You could a mechanical pencil is definitely a mechanical pencil is definitely the way to go. So that is what I use. And then we're going to use the Golden Maple brushes, the Meeden brushes, the Meeden paper. Let me show you the paper that I use because this is the question I get asked, I think, more than anything else is what paper I use. So paper does matter, guys. It really, really does. So if you are struggling with getting your colors right or getting it to blend correctly, think about upgrading your paper because cheap paper equals cheap art. Okay, you can get 4 of these ACEO sizes out of 1 sheet of this paper right here. And it is gorgeous paper. So you can see this is the 5x7 size, and I can get 4 of these ACEOs in this 1 sheet. So this block of paper comes with 20 sheets in it, which means I can get 80 of the ACEOs out of this block. So that's a pretty good bang for your buck. Plus the paper, as you can see, is really textured. It's a beautiful paper, and it's got a really beautiful absorption to it. Like it absorbs the colors really well and makes them really vibrant and beautiful. So this is my favorite paper. It is a cold press, 100% cotton. So if you're looking for your art to be upgraded a level, then upgrade your paper. So if you're looking for your art to be upgraded a level, then upgrade your paper. Never realized how much paper can make a difference, but it absolutely does. Like, I learned that once I started using really good paper. I was like, holy cow, I should have been doing this the whole time. So just so you know, if you are looking to really upgrade your art, then the paper is where I would start. Okay. Yes, for real. Yep, it's a great set. It's got all of the pencils that you need too. It's got several sizes. And honestly, when you're using a pencil set like that, you get really good line work, because when you're using a regular pencil and you start your line work, as the pencil dulls down, it gets wider, and as it gets wider, your lines get wider, so you don't get consistent line work. But with a mechanical pencil, even though it goes down, your line work stays consistent because the width doesn't change, which is really nice. Nicole, thank you. I do too. Your poor snail came out sad. Why do I feel like that's an exaggeration, Feral Mom? I feel like that you probably are exaggerating, because I've not seen anything of yours that's come out sad. Everything I've seen of yours is always so good. All right, we're going to get our washi tape out, and we are going to get everything pinned down. Thank you so much for that rose, Rhonda. All right, so we're going to be working on the crab today. Okay, so let's go ahead before I show y'all the inspiration pick for him. Let's get this taped down. So everybody take your paper and tape it down to whatever you're using as your surface. I use this piece of wood so I can spin him around. So take your paper and tape it down to whatever you're using as your surface. I use this piece of wood so I can spin him around, so I can put it in any direction. I don't like to tape it to my desk. I made the mistake early on of taping things to my desk, and it just makes it hard for me to get the right angle when I need to as I'm drawing, or painting, detail work. So I started taping to wood, and that has made it way, way better, because now I can actually turn it and spin it and get it, at the right angle when I'm drawing. So that's what I do. But if you want to tape it to your desk or whatever, just whatever you're used to. I'm giving it about 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. So if you guys are wanting a border on your stuff, then make sure that or on your prints, then make sure that you tape it. Okay, we will do a giveaway today if we get to that 30,000 likes. So if you guys tap that screen and we get to 30,000, I have a set of handmade earrings that I will be sending to the winner. So tap that screen and all the things. Hit the follow button, all the things. These are the earrings that I'll be giving away. They're cute for summer. The little sunflowers. They're hand painted with these watercolors and sealed. They're laser cut with my machine. So they're all, and there's nothing on them that has not been touched by human hands. They are not machine made, and they are super cute. I have a set just like that I wear all the time. Hey, Carrie, what are you doing this morning? How are you on here? I didn't figure you would make it. You usually can't make it unless it's evening time. All right. So we are going to be doing our 4th one in this series of sea creatures, okay? We're going to be doing... They are, Carrie. That's awesome. I love sunflowers. They're beautiful. So y'all tap that screen and get us to 30,000. So 30K likes so that we can do that giveaway. Okay, guys. All right. This is the inspiration photo for what we're doing today, you guys. So I want you guys to take a screenshot, because this is what we're going to be doing this morning. So go ahead and take your time and get a screenshot of this so you have it to look at as we're drawing. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That is what we are going to get started on to draw today. Now we are drawing on this. This is the Meeden paper. And we are going to begin by doing our background, okay? We want to do our background, and the way we're going to do this background today is a little different than what we normally do. We are going to use the Meeden brushes as always. You guys know I'm constantly, these are my favorite brushes, you know, just standard brushes to use. So we're going to use the number 5, and we are going to get water all over our page. And then we're going to do a 2-part background. We're going to do the sand, and we're going to do the background. So we're going to go with the cerulean blue for the top part of this. So we're just adding in that cerulean blue. Don't be, you know, too rigid on the line, because we want that sand and the water to kind of meet. So now I'm going to use a brown color for my sand, and I'm just going to kind of bring it up, and I'm going to let it kind of blend with that blue. Okay. I'm not going to be real particular about how it blends as long as it blends. Okay. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to dry my brush off, and we are going to want to go from side to side to pick this up. Don't go from top to bottom today, because you'll smear it down, that blue down into the sand, and we don't want to do that. So just go from left to right and from right to left. Okay, just like that, so that we have that kind of, I don't know what that is. All right. Okay. And that's going to be our background. Now you can barely see it, but when you pull the tape, you'll be able to see it, so don't worry. So go ahead and dry it. My paper has like dirt on it today for some reason. I don't know what I did. All right, now once it's dry, we are going to, hang on, I need to switch this. Because when I upload to my TubeView, it silences my my videos if I have music that's copyrighted in the background. So we've got to be careful as to what music we use. So I just like to use this calming, quiet music. All right. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, we are going to move to our pens or our pencils, and we're going to draw our little crab. Now, we've done a crab before. This one's going to be a little bit more in depth than the one that we did before. The one we did before was out of the book, out of that doodle book. So it was a simple doodled crab. And it's going to be much like that, but we're going to just kind of make it a little bit more dimensional. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down below the sand line. So you can barely see mine, but the sky and the sand kind of come together right around here. So we want him to be a little bit lower than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the flat part of his little head. So I kind of have a guide, and I'm just going to kind of draw myself a little line there so I know where his head is going to be, and or his body. I guess it's not his head. I guess it's his body, but it's his head body together. Okay. And his first little pincher comes down right beside that. So we're going to kind of make that pincher like a semicircle, and then we're just going to kind of bring in the claw part of it and bring it up like that. And then the second part of that comes off of him in this little kind of pointed little nodule off of him. Okay, so that's his first little pincher. Hey, Stacy Lee. Yes, you can. Here it is. Okay, if anybody needs the picture, it's right here. Go ahead and take a quick screenshot of it. This is what we're working on. Isn't he cute? All right, so we're going to get him drawn out. All right. So we have that first little nodule kind of off of his claw done. I will say that, oh, where's my eraser? This needs to kind of come more flat because they kind of need to come together. So I'm going to bring that kind of over like this. So they're kind of together. Not that flat though. There, like that. Okay. All right, so there's his little claw and the base of his head or body. Okay. Now we're going to go up with his body like this. It's going to kind of come like a smiley face up. Okay. And off of that, we've kind of got his, like an extra, like you've got, it's kind of dimensional. Like there's like this is his belly. That's the under part of him. So we're going to do another little layer that kind of comes up and then kind of fades out like that. And in that section right there is where his legs are going to come out. So we're going to go ahead and pull this leg out like this. Kind of comes to a point and then back in. And it sort of rounds itself out as it attaches to him. And then we're going to give it these little nodule sections like that. Okay. Now the next one does the same thing. It comes out from his belly and down and up. I'm going to go ahead and erase this line. I'm going to kind of make this section a little longer so the sections kind of change. And then the last one is going to be right here. Off of that same space. Doesn't come down quite as far. And again, rounded here and then kind of section that off. Okay, so there's our little legs. And then his body kind of comes up to finish right here. I'm worried I didn't leave enough room for his legs right here, but we're going to make it work. Maybe. Let's do that side so I can see if I'm going to have to fix anything. All right, so his face kind of comes up here like this. And his legs come off of his body like that. And then the next one comes up. And then the last one comes up here. See, I didn't leave enough room. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I think I'm just going to take him off the page. I think he's just going to, I'm just going to have it not show that leg. Have it come down right here. and up like this. Just like that. So he's going to be cut off a little bit, and that's all right. I would rather do that than draw the whole thing again, because that's what I would need to do. All right, let's do his top. Uh-oh. Yep, it seems like when I get anytime I get a crown or a root canal or anything like that, I always end up having to go back. It seems like when I get anytime I get a crown or a root canal or anything like that, I always end up having to go back. We're going to come out for his little eyes at the tops right here. So we'll draw a little smiley face there and then bring his eyes up and around like that. Same thing here. Up and around. All right, now his other pincher is going to come up right here. So go ahead and bring that arm kind of up a little bit. And then we're going to do that same semicircle around. We're going to bring it kind of in and out. And then make this little pincher. All right, let's give him his little smiley face. And he's got these little, almost like shoulder pads that kind of come off of him. So I'm going to make those. Okay. All right, he looks like a hot mess. That's okay. He's allowed to. Oh, Angel, I know. I can't believe it. See, in Texas, it's so hot here. The thought of snow, I can't even imagine snow this time of year because I've lived in Texas so long and it starts getting hot. Like, we only have like 2 cold spells the whole year. This year, we had 2, like 3 to 5 day cold spells, and that was it. The rest of the time, it's like summer all the time. We don't even have season changes. So I can't fathom snow right now. Like, that just floors me that anybody is getting snow this time of year. Okay. I really don't like him, y'all. That's okay. We're going to keep going. This is one of those days that I'm going to learn. All right. We're going to have to use our Golden Maple detail brushes a lot today. So if you guys don't have a good set of detail brushes, these are the brushes that you want. Okay, let me grab them because I don't know that they gave me, oh, they did. They gave me some flash codes for these, y'all. But I don't know what it is. Hang on. I think it's because it was initially 2034 and some change or something like that. I don't know what it's going to do though, y'all. Because I think my flash sale code might be higher than the sale that they're running right now. It is. So I'm going to stop. Let's see if I can do that. I don't know if I can or not. End. Yeah. Okay. So currently they're on sale for way less than even my flash sale code, which is amazing because they never do that. So just so you guys know, I'm not even running my flash sale because they've got a sale going on, and that means that it's cheaper than what I can get it for you for. So, but it's there. This set has 20 different detail brushes in it. It comes in a case. You get your liners, you get your fan brush, your angled brushes, you get your round brushes, you get your flat brushes, all the details. And it comes in this nice case to keep them all together. So if you're looking for a great detail brush set, then this one from Golden Maple is the best. And that's what we're going to be using for our details today, okay? And I can tell you right now that we're going to be using it a lot because this little guy's got a lot of little sections to him. So, wow, that's crazy. 105. That's craziness. Good grief, Angel. Okay, so let's go ahead and do, how do I want to do this? How do I want to start him? Because I've kind of got, all right, we're just going to put a base coat of the orange on him, okay? So the orange that I'm going to use is going to be this, I'm going to pull y'all out just a little bit so y'all can see my colors as we go. But I'm going to use this dark orange, but I'm going to dilute it to where I get a really soft orange color, okay? I don't want anything that's super dark. Okay, so I'm going to put lots of water in that so that we have a light orange, okay? So we're going to go, we're just going to put this in here as a base coat. It's going to look like a complete, it's going to look like a kindergartner did it first. Okay, that's okay. We don't care because we're going to put the details in later and that's going to really bring it all together. But for now, just put the color in and don't worry about what it looks like. Okay. Also, don't worry about his pinchers and all that. Just get the coat on there fully. Okay. Because they're all basically this orange color. So we don't need to worry about separating everything out because the orange color is on all of him. Okay. So just give him his color. We'll worry about putting shadows and stuff in later. And adding in any kind of highlights and stuff, we'll do those as well later. So just get the base coat on. And again, I'm using these detail brushes because they are the easiest to do in these smaller little areas. And just remember, every piece of art, I say this all the time, but I have to remind myself too, every piece of art is going to go through an ugly phase. The key to getting beautiful art is to be able to get past the ugly phase and actually get to the phase where you go, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Okay. So just know that if it's looking ugly, you're on the right path. Okay. Now I'm just going around the eye that I made because he has orange all the way around. So I'm just bringing this kind of together. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Give him his little, and then go around. It was great, Stacy Lee. Thank you for asking. I had a very nice weekend. We we didn't have the kids this weekend. I have the kids a lot of the weekends because my daughter is a wedding photographer. So she's gone a lot of weekends doing weddings. Her and her husband, they shoot together. So they're both, on the photography team. And because of that, we have them a lot. But we did not have them this weekend. So we spent the weekend. My husband had a show on Friday night at a winery, which I went to, and that was really fun. And then he didn't have a show on Saturday, so we just went and had some dinner together and had spent the evening watching a movie. And then on Sunday, he had a show out at this place that's here in town that's close, and I did not go. He went and did his show, and while he did that, I stayed home and got my house back in order, which was so nice to have the time to do that. So my house is nice and clean and organized again. And when you live in a tiny house, you have to really do that pretty regularly. So, oh gosh, that's so hard when you can't get internet and cable, especially over the weekends when what else are you going to do, right? Okay, so we've got his base done, and so now we have to start putting in some of those shadows. Now we know we need shadows right along here, so go ahead and put some water in his little legs right here so that can kind of spread down into his legs. And we're going to add in some of this really dark orange color right at the base of where they attach to his body. And we're going to kind of spread that down and let it blend in and fade down. Okay. Dry that. And see how that gave it that shadow. Thank you, Rhonda. I know. I gotta tell you, I do have much more confidence than I used to have in my drawing ability, but I really do, you guys. I know I say this a lot, and it's not to just sell this book, I promise you, but that book that I have, this is not a sketchbook. It's a drawing an art class or drawing class. I can't remember. What's it called? This is not a sketchbook is the name of the book. And then it says it's an art class. That book has done so much for my confidence and my ability to draw. I cannot tell you guys. Now, as far as shading and stuff goes, I'm really learning that more as I just play around with the colors. But as far as drawing stuff, that book has made such a huge difference. So if you guys are wanting to really improve your drawing skill set, I cannot recommend that book enough. Like, it is the sole reason that I am finally feeling more confident in my ability to draw things. So, all right, so we're going to do that same thing here and just kind of bring this down. Yeah, Rhonda, you've been here pretty much from the beginning, haven't you? From when I was doing like the easy, messy, loose watercolor that, helps, start you into the watercolor arena. Right? Weren't you here during that time? Aw, thank you. That's so cool, Rhonda. Thanks so much. All right, so we have that shadowing going down there. Now, right under here, we want to kind of bring some shadows in because this is like his belly right here. So, and this is like the front of him. So we want to bring in, we want to leave that highlight at the bottom and bring some darker shading up through here. Okay. So let's add in some water here so that we can get that. And we want it to kind of fade, so we don't want it to be any harsh lines. So just kind of spread it and then continue to add until it gets to where you want it to be. So don't overdo it on the first layer. Go ahead and add in a little at a time until you get it where you want it to be. So we want him to have kind of a, if it starts to get harsh, add water, spread it out, blend it. Just don't blend it down into the belly because we want that belly to be lighter. I haven't ever done a betta fish, Rhonda, but we should try one sometime. Yeah, see, you have, Rhonda. That means, yeah, you were here at the beginning. I thought you were. Because I think September is when I started. So I haven't even been doing it a year yet. September is when I started. So if you've been following me since September, October, you've been here since the beginning, which is crazy. All right, let's go ahead now and add in right here. I'm going to add in just a little bit of a yellow hint to it right there, yellow-orange, to kind of emphasize that belly right through here. And also kind of in the middle here a little bit. And then I'm going to blend that up. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go and we're going to go right across here. I'm going to make that little curve. And we are going to darken this up some. Just kind of give it a little bit of a shadow and blend it out. And let's draw that and see where we're at. Thank you, Rhonda. You're so sweet. Thank you, Carrie. I mean, it was good. It was just a little bit, it was beginner. I mean, because I was still very, I mean, even now I'm still very much a beginner. I don't claim to be an expert in anything art. But it was definitely much more beginner back then. And honestly, I still love those images that I painted back then. So, you know, and I still occasionally do those when I'm just in my studio playing around, just because they're quick and easy. And also, I don't have to think or focus on detail so much. And for me, that sometimes is necessary for me to kind of just get my creative juices flowing. So, all right, we're adding in some shadows around the claw. So we just added in clear water and then added in some of those shadows. And just remember, if you end up with some harsh lines, just add some water in there. Okay. And that'll get rid of those. Now I'm going to add a little bit of that yellow in the claw right here. And then some water to kind of spread that through and give it a little bit of orange at the top of it, but not much. Okay. Because this is very much soft, this part of the cloth. And we're going to do that same thing right here in this claw. We're going to go in here and we are going to allow some of the shadowing on the big part of the claw right here. Just let it spread however you want it to. And then add in that yellow to this part. And just kind of blend those together. Just like that. All right, now we are going to need to pull out our Grabby multi-liners to do the eyes and all the detail stuff. And then we'll put in some bubbles. We'll add in some more sand stuff. I mean, we've got a lot of detail to go. It seems like it's going fast, but I promise you when we start adding the detail, that's going to take a little time. So I'm going to use my 005 Grabby and my 01. So if you have not grabbed a watercolor pen set, this Grabby set is the best. Yes, please do that. If you guys can repost and all the things, that is so appreciated. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for reminding everybody about that. Okay, let's go ahead and get, I feel like we should get the eyes done just because we want his personality to kind of come out. So I don't want to use the 05 for that. I'm going to use the 01 for that. So we're going to kind of go around his eye. Doesn't have to be perfect. The idea is to kind of give it a little bit of flaws, because it's definitely not going to be exactly proportional. And then we're going to do our middle. So let's color that in. And we'll do his highlight with my ZSCM. Just like that. And now let's do the other one. I just follow kind of the way the water falls. So like if it spreads and it goes up like that, I just follow it because you want it to look imperfect. Thank you guys for the likes and the follows and the shares and the gifts and all the things. I appreciate all those so much. The purchases out of my showcase, supporting that. Very, very grateful for all that. Okay. Okay, so we got his eyes done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go in. I'm going to use the 005 for this because I want these lines to be very subtle. But I'm going to go ahead and give him some detail. Along his legs and all the things. And then we'll go in and even make those more dimensional after we get this detail in with the pen. I'm not necessarily thrilled with how this worked out, but it's all right. It'll be fine. We'll play around with some shading and see if we can't fix that. So all I'm doing is just following these lines, these sketch lines that I did to give it the extra detail it needs. And then we'll add in some of that stippling and all that stuff to kind of make it more, and some of that stippling and all that stuff to kind of make it more like, not that he has to be realistic because he's not, but okay, let's do his mouth. I'm going to do that with a little bit thicker pen. I'm going to go with the 05 for that. All right, now I'm going to take my detail brush, and I'm going to get into this orange, this dark orange. And first, right here, I'm going to give it some little lines that kind of blend this down. And then I'm going to go kind of along here as well. Just kind of shadow that up a little bit. So it looks more natural, of like the belly versus his face. So I'm just adding in some of these extra little details to kind of bring that together. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my blue, the blue brushes from Golden Maple. These are the teeny tiny little tins, I think is what they are. And they are like super, super little. And they come with these tubes to protect them because honestly, they have very few bristles in them because they're teeny, teeny tiny. And I'm going to use this for my details. I hate that your tooth hurts, Stacey Lee. I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to get this dark orange, and we're going to start stippling, and we're going to be making some of these shadows even more defined. So across here, right across his little paw, and it's not a paw, sorry, his claw. I don't know why I called it a paw. I'm going to start doing this stippling. Where that shading needs to be. And I'm going to do it really thick, and then I'm going to spread it out so that it kind of gets lighter. You want to take your time with this because this is what's really going to bring the detail in him out. Same thing here. I'm going to bring that kind of down into his claw or into his legs. So the parts you want shaded, you're going to put your dots really close together and dense, and then bring them out further and further apart in the areas that don't necessarily need that much shading. Carrie, this is the Golden Maple set. They're pinned above, and you get 6 of these in the set, and they're all the same size. They're all this 10/0, and they have this like gripper on them, and they're teeny tiny, and they're amazing. I think and I think there's 6 of them in the set, but they're all the same size because there's so few bristles in these brushes. Like if you were to lose even 1 or 2 of the bristles in your brush, it's not going to be good for you anymore because it's teeny. I mean, it's so little and dainty. But truth be told, they're amazing for this kind of shading. All right, let's do his kind of face now. So we're going to bring that stippling into his face. We're going to do this really close together. Now with these brushes, you do have to dip into your paint a lot more because they're so small. They don't have a ton of ability to hold water and color. So you do have to dip more than you would with a normal detail brush because they're, again, teeny tiny, but they are great for stippling and for teeny small, little details. I love using a stippling technique on like seahorses and crabs and turtles, and it seems like it just kind of brings out that look that they have. What do you guys think? I feel like the stippling is what really brings it together. Your set is different, Carrie? Did you get this blue set? Did you get the blue set? Now I'm going to stipple across the belly with the yellow. Yours aren't blue? Yeah, you probably have. Do you have this set? Do you have this brown set? Is this the set you have? This will work too. It's got a small one in it too right here. This teeny tiny one right here will work out of this set if that's the one which is the 20. So if you have a 20, that'll work too. And then they have the set in the watercolor that comes with the water, or they have the set that comes with the wet palette, the Stay Wet palette. That's also, but they're not blue, they're brown. But they have some of these smaller sizes in that as well. You got the Stay Wet palette, right? If you got the Stay Wet palette, then you have the brown set. You got the Stay Wet palette, right? If you got the Stay Wet palette, then you have the brown set. Okay, so see, that's going to be, yeah, you have this set. So here's the 10. You have the 10 size. It's just brown. Okay. So, oops, sorry. So this one, it's the 10 in that set. Okay. So, but you do have it. Again, it's just brown instead. It's the same as this one, but it's brown. So that's the one you should be using. Yeah, the only difference in that set is the color. And the only difference in that brush, I'm sorry, is the color. That set is actually not all the same size. The set that you have has all the different options and sizes, which is a great set because it's the one that comes with the Stay Wet palette. And it's a really nice set. I have a flash sale code for that Stay Wet palette that comes with those brushes. If anybody wants it, you can let me know. And I will be happy to put it up there for you guys. All right, let's go into the paw. Or not paw. Why do I keep calling it a paw, y'all? The claw. It is not a paw. All right, I'm going to take some yellow. Just going to kind of giving it some random little texture spots on its face with this yellow orange color. All right, now I'm going to take and I'm going to get my 20 again. Or is this my 20? Yeah, I'm going to get my 20 again. I'm going to take that orange and kind of bring some lines over. All right. Put some shadows right up underneath here. Okay, now let's go ahead and get our sand darkened up. So we're going to put some over here. Doesn't need to be completely solid. We just kind of want it to be there. And then we've got our bubbles that we need to make in the background. So we're going to get our golden maple again. Hey, Mom, how's it going? Thanks, living the dream. I appreciate that. Hey, GGH, welcome in. All right, let's go ahead and put our detail brushes back up. I'm going to duplicate this. Cancel. Get those unpinned. And whoops, I'm not sure what I did there. Okay. Let's do, let me just start this again in just a second. All right. Where is that set, guys? It must be way down here at the bottom. It's not letting me pin it for some reason. Did we sell out? Let me see if we did. Okay. There it goes. All right. Okay, so this is the set we're using now. And we're going to do our bubbles. So I'm going to take that blue that we used for the background. Do like a semicircle or almost a 3/4 circle. Then I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm going to take clear water and I'm just going to drag that, or almost a 3/4 circle. Then I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm going to take clear water and I'm just going to drag that from the edge and complete that bubble around like that. And we'll do that several times. And you can use different saturations so that your bubbles are different colors or different, you know, hues. So you've got some darker ones and some lighter ones. Always leave a little bit of a highlight on the bubble. Different sizes. So you have different parts. So yay, we're at 10K. Thank you guys so much. If we get to 30K, I'm going to do that giveaway. So you guys keep tapping that screen. And we will all right, one more. I'm going to do this one a little bit smaller. Okay, so we have our bubbles there. Now we are going to pull out some colored pencils to get some shadowing in on this little guy. So I'm going to use this orange, and then I'm going to use the bright orange and the fresh red. Okay, so those are the three colors that I'm using on this little guy to do some of this shadowing, okay? So first I'm going to start with this right here, and we're going to just put a little bit of that orange in there and take that deep red and just give it a little outline right there. Barely, you're barely going to be able to see that. Okay, now here we're going to go through in all these shadowed areas where we did our stippling. We're going to do that soft layer, that low pressure, light pressure, and then all three layers, or all three colors. And each color doesn't come out as far as the first color does. That was light pressure. Now we're going to do medium pressure. And we're not going to go quite as far out with the second color. And then we're just barely putting in the red in the corners. Okay. Now we're going to do heavy pressure. And again, not quite as far out. Okay, so that we've got that claw there. Now, I'm going to blend him with, I think I'm going to use maybe this autumn gold. I'm not sure. What do you think? Yeah, I'm going to blend that out with this autumn gold. in the middle. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do that same thing, only we're not going to need as many layers. So we're going to do I'm going to do medium pressure right off the get-go for this part. And then I'm going to blend that out. I feel like he needs something around the tips right here of his little paws or legs. I don't know why I've got paws of the brain today, y'all. So just add your shading where you feel like yours needs it. Mine definitely needs some shading right here along this side area. So I'm going to go in with medium pressure. So I'm kind of following my stippling areas, and I'm just giving it a little bit of dimension there in those areas. And then I'm blending it out with that gold. Same thing over here. This. The colored pencils really bring out the shading automatically. It is, in fact, snowing. I'm sorry, Angel. I would not want to be driving in that at all. It would suck. Okay. In case you guys were wondering what pencils I'm using, these are them right here, the 240 set of this Color set. I love this set of pencils. They are absolutely amazing. So if you guys are looking for a really good professional pencil set, then that is the one I would recommend. Then that is the one I would recommend. Okay. I'm going to take the white and blend this out right here. Love it. So cute. All right. Let's keep going along the along the legs. I don't know why I keep calling them paws. So frustrating. Now, we could have done this without the stippling, but the stippling is what, to me, gives it kind of that depth. So I like to do the stippling before the shade. It makes that stippling really, really subtle, but it gives it texture. And the texture is what, you know, is the cool part of the, you know, that makes him look more lifelike, kind of. I don't know. I think it looks good. I like to do the stippling before I do the shading. so that it's subtle. If you do it after, it's kind of stands out more and it's more, I don't know, it just is harsh, for lack of a better word. All right, so now you can kind of see how those shadows. All right, so now you can kind of see how those shadows are coming together and giving him some depth. All right, let's go ahead and go along here. We're going to go up his eyes about halfway. And then not quite as far. And then with the red right along here. Okay. All right, let's give him some shadowing underneath his belly onto the ground. So I'm going to use some browns to do that. Let me find them. All right, so I've got ginger yellow, I have apricot yellow, I have coffee, and I have brown olive. Okay, I'm going to start with this ginger yellow, and I'm going to give it kind of just a little base up underneath him. Oops. Okay, just a bit of a shadow up underneath those areas that are going to be touching the sand, right? Just going to bring that down. And I'm just doing a light touch, okay? But what's going to happen is we're going to get that darker in here. And then almost really, really dark in the middle. Okay, now we're going to go over it again with a medium. Medium pressure. The whole thing. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring this all the way down. I think it'll look better all the way down. Yep. All right. So we've got medium pressure. With that second brown. And then we've got medium pressure with the dark coffee. Just in those areas where we want a really good dark shadow. right, let's go ahead and now blend that out with heavy pressure. You're going to pretend that it's pollen. I don't know. Pollen's almost just as bad. It makes me sneeze so bad. I like to go different directions with my pencils so we cover all of that space. You don't have those pencil marks as bad. So, all right. So now he's kind of got that shadow. And give him a little bit more right up underneath here. All right, that looks good. All right, now let's do some splatter and we will be done. He's super cute. I think he's turning out great, you guys. Oh, you'd rather sneeze. I don't know if I'd rather sneeze or not. I think that I would rather just, I don't know. I wouldn't want to drive in it. If I had an option of sneezing and driving in snow, you can forget that. I'm not driving in snow, especially in New York, because New York is like a crappy place to drive anyway. But, and I'm not even talking about the city. I'm just talking about the state in general. We were in it in our motorhome and it was stressful. Let me tell you. Okay, I'm going to take my Meeden #1 brush. I'm going to get some of this blue. We are going to cover his little face because we don't want him to be, splattered on too much. But we do want some blue up in the sky, some splatters. So, all right, so we've got some of this blue. And we are going to tap softly, just enough to get some small splatters. Okay. Let's dry them off. I feel like we missed, hang on, I missed a section right here. There we go. That's better. All right, let's peel him off. I think he's cute, y'all. I mean, he's not perfect. I kind of went off the page, so I wasn't happy about that, but he turned out all right. I think he looks good. All right. What do you guys think? Y'all give me your opinions. It's okay. I have thick skin. If he's not quite great, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, but he goes with our little sea creature collection. Look how cute. He fits in perfectly with them. I think he's cute. I'm going to go ahead and sign him while I'm thinking about it. Okay, there we go. All right. So we have 5 of the 6 that we're doing. Yeah, exactly. I think he looks cute coming off the page. I think he's fine. I mean, it wasn't what I planned, but it's fine. Well, they will be going up, I promise. I'm downloading them currently. Like, they're just taking forever, you guys. They're taking forever. I don't know why they're taking so long. They normally don't. But my internet's been kind of a little spotty lately, so that could be part of it. I don't know why it's been that way. but it has. So, all right. So that is today's tutorial. I hope you guys absolutely loved it. I just want to highlight a few things recently that I've gotten that I love that I have not told you guys about that are new. The first thing is, for those of you who got the Watercolor with Me in the Forest book, Dana Fox has come out with a new one, and it is this one right here. It is Watercolor with Me in the Ocean. And you guys know I was not going to at all pass this up because the sketches are already in here for you, and they're on watercolor paper already. And then she gives you a color palette. She gives you the supplies that you need, and then she gives you step-by-step instructions. So if you are struggling with, say, sketching, then you don't have to worry about that because she's already got the sketches for you. And then, so you have all of these different little sea creatures. Look how cute. Oh my goodness. I love them all. And then on the other sides of each page, she gives you your color chart, supplies. She even gives you a reference photo to look at. So even if you didn't want to use her sketches, you wanted to just sketch it yourself, but you've got all of the instructions here. This is such a great book, you guys. Her first one, or I don't know if it was her first one, but the first one I got from her, which was the Watercolor with Me in the Forest, I loved that book so much. It taught me so much about blending and how to make everything look like come together without it looking harsh. And so I really, really like the instructions that she gives you on how to paint. So this is a really good book to have. Look, there's a seahorse right there we could do. And it's even got the sketch already. So I might even have to practice that before we do our seahorse tomorrow. But there's a lobster. There's a little beluga whale. There's the puffin. You get seashells, angelfish, dolphin. I mean, these are more realistic than what we're doing, but it's just all kinds of like different sea stuff and ocean things. Message in a bottle. How cute is that? These are so, so cool. So I wanted to show y'all this because I know a lot of you guys had the Watercolor with Me in the Forest book and loved it. So this one is the Watercolor with Me in the Ocean, and it is amazing. And it is already on watercolor paper. Now, it's not the best quality paper, but for beginners and for learning purposes, it does just fine. So there's no reason to feel like you have to have that museum quality paper when you're learning stuff like this. Okay. So don't let that deter you. If you're looking for a good book that's going to really teach you technique and to teach you how to blend and all of those things, then this book is for it for sure. Angel, I have not gotten a sealer for my cards yet, but keep telling me and I will keep reminding myself. And eventually I will get it. I thought you were going to message me every day. You didn't message me. Oh, look at this penguin, you guys. How cute is that? So yeah, so this is a really good little book. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. Okay. And then another thing I wanted to share with you guys are these Artify brushes. Let me show you guys these. Hang on one second. I've got to find them. Because I want to make sure that I have the right ones pinned, because these are great. I just got these and I love them, and I'm going to, like, now I don't have to take all of my big brushes that I normally take. They come like this. They come in a little case and you just open them up. They're like the one we got in the Christmas package, you know, from Meeden that opened up. So they're like this. And you get several different ones. So you get in different shapes. You get your rounds, which you get several in the rounds. You get a small number 2, like this. You get a number 4, and you get a number 8 in the rounds. Okay. And then you also get a dagger, which this thing is everything. The point on this is amazing. Okay. You get, you get a flat, and you get an angle. So you get 6 different brushes in this set. I love this. I'm super excited about this set. They have a lot of really good options, you know, so you've got multiple styles and then also multiple sizes. So I love that about it. And they travel really easy. They come with this canvas case. This is washable. You can even throw this in the washing machine if you wanted to. Not that you would need to, but, and then they just close back up and go back in here. And so easy to put away. Love, love, love them. So if you're looking for a good travel set, I do a lot of traveling. So I take my art supplies on the go a lot. Like more than the average person, I think. So that is probably one of the reasons that I'm super excited about this set. But also, like, it's a really good set of brushes. So I wanted to share that with you guys. The last thing I wanted to share with you guys is I got this this Sula travel pouch. So summer's coming up. You're going to be doing some traveling. You're going to want to take your art supplies. This holds all these pens. It holds a full A5 size journal, but you could put like a watercolor sketchbook down in here, or you could fit your sketchbook down in here, or you could fit your Meeden paper down in here. The 5x7 size paper would fit into here. It also has these pouches on this side. So like these brushes fit down in here. I can put my grabby pins on the side here. I can put my this stuff here. So this is a really great pouch, and I love, love, love this pouch. So that was the last thing that I wanted to show you that are just recent things that I've just gotten that I just absolutely love. And they have a ton of different colors in this pouch. It's not just this color. They have them in pink and in purple and in a reddish color and just all kinds of different ones. So this is and it's canvas. So you just toss it in the washing machine when you need to. It also has these extra pockets on the inside too. So like I have one of my little mini A Brighter Year books down in here too, so that I have that to color and play with. I'm currently working on my 2027 bullet journal, so this fits down in there perfectly, and I can take it with me with the pens, and I can continue to work my way through getting my journal put together so that it's ready come January. Now, I know you guys are thinking, 2027, what, are you crazy? These take a long time to do. So if I'm currently working on, I just finished January, and I've been working on it a while. So I'm going to be starting February next, and I can just take it with me. And I have all my pens and stuff in here to use. And again, this journal fits down in here, you know, really easily. It's got these pockets, and then it just fits, you know, down inside here. So I love that. So I wanted to share that with you. And then I think that's everything. So for now, but I've got a ton of really fun stuff. Now, I still have some flash codes for the ZSCM pins too. So if you're interested in the ZSCM pins or anything like that, I have those flash codes available as well. All right, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope you guys had a fun time doing our crab today. So we now have 5 of the 6 in this series done. And I hope that you guys will join me tomorrow. I will be doing an 11 a.m. tomorrow, Central Standard Time. And we will be doing the seahorse to finish off this series. So we'll be doing a seahorse tomorrow. So I hope that you guys will join me. If you have missed these tutorials and you would like to do them, you can find them on my Tube of You. And they are uploading as we, or they're downloading as we speak. And I will try to be uploading them by this afternoon or tomorrow. So they should be up soon in the next day or two. You will be able to grab these off of my Tube of You. Okay, if you missed out on the tutorials for those. All right. Okay, well, I will see you guys tomorrow around 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. And thanks for painting the crab with me today. See you guys later. Bye.